So good afternoon, everyone. A warm welcome. And we are from Clarify, a Perfios company. So since morning, we've been hearing about how cooperative banks are operating in different markets and how you're trying to retain your customers, right? But at the same time, it is very important, to also protect your customers, right? So that is why we are here to help you manage that layer of fraud and risk that happens across all banking ecosystem, right? That starts from your onboarding till the time the customer is there with you across all transactions that happens. So we here as Clarify wants to give you an understanding as to what we as a fraud management company or a product company bringing to you with respect to fraud, risk, and across the regulatory compliances and how we are helping you manage that as well. So that is where I wanted to introduce Clarify to you. So Clarify has been there in the market for almost 2 decades now. We are operating in 60 countries, 60 banks with presence in 30 countries, wherein we are working with banks, payment banks, small finance banks, and PSUs. In India, we have a presence in 9 of the 15 top banks in India. 5 of the top PSUs are using our fraud risk management solution. And while we are managing these customers in India, we are actually processing 40% of their transactions and are helping them combat the frauds. Now, while we are managing the frauds, we are also helping them understand the regulatory compliances. We are not just coming as a vendor for them, we are actually a consultant. While we've been hearing from different delegates since morning that one important aspect is to retain customers, second is to build the technology framework for them to be protected as part of your ecosystem and still be there as part of your ecosystem. That is where our entire end-to-end fraud life cycle will work for you. So this is what we are doing. Now, while I am saying that we are helping you protect your customers from fraud risk, we are actually a Make in India company. We are also helping you maintain your regulatory compliances. We are working directly with RBI, MHAs, and other regulatory bodies of India and building end-to-end automated products, which not only help you facilitate with respect to the databases that are there in the RBI guidelines, but also helping you maintain end-to-end processes with respect to identifying frauds at the onboarding stage, identifying frauds on a real-time basis in a unified manner, right? So when I'm saying we are bringing Make in India products, we are being there in India. We have basically started our journey in India. We delivered different products across different banks in India, and they're working with 80% accuracy across the different financial or the non-financial transactions we are dealing with. While we are measuring the different financial transactions, we are also measuring how the non-financial or the demographic changes are impacting the frauds that are happening in India. So that is also what we have taken care of as part of our platform. This is just to give you a view that we are across all the regulatory compliances, be it NPCI, be it your regulatory frameworks with respect to AML solution, your EFRMs, and your reporting, which is the main aspect when it comes to your fraud as well as money laundering aspects, right? Now, this is just to give you a high-level view on what we are doing as part of our solutioning. As I already mentioned that we have a complete suite of managing fraud risk solutions. We have an enterprise fraud risk management solution, which works on a real-time basis. It's a unified solution, and we can consume data on a real-time basis from any source of solution or sources of data that you're maintaining internally as well as externally to the bank. So all of that can be done. While we have done that as the base layer, we are also capturing your behavioral and device intelligence, wherein we have a trust armor layer which is built on top of it. And the most important aspect while managing frauds is to also manage your operational efficiencies and bandwidth internally to the bank. So that is where we have AI and ML models built in as part of the platform, right? Which basically creates a 3-tiered structure on our EFRM platform, which is basically giving you more information, more intelligence, plus also helping the banks to be staying ahead of the curve and also maintaining the TATs as per the regulatory compliances. So all of that is taken care as part of one common platform. While I'm saying it's one common platform, it is modular in nature also. So we can start with 1-2 modules, and then we can comprehend as many modules as required as part of the banking ecosystem, right? So that's where we have all of the regulatory compliances that you can see on the screen, be it with respect to LEA automation or with respect to bringing in your FRI intelligence as part of your ecosystem. This is, again, just to give you a view, like I spoke about the 3-tiered structure that we have built, the base EFRM. On top of it, we have device intelligence and behavioral intelligence. And then to top it up, we have our AI ML layer also. Now, while all of this is happening, we are basically coming with a lot of business acumen. Considering we are working across geographies with 60+ banks, we have a rich library of rule scenarios or understanding of how the fraud is operating in different geographies. So we have a rich library of pre-built scenarios as part of a platform. And while we are doing all of that, we are also coming as a consultant, helping you understand how it can be combated, how the solution should be built in order to make it more technology-driven, plus at the same time regulatory compliant. So all of that can be done as part of it. And while you're doing, going ahead on a technology framework, we are trying to manage your false positives, reducing the false positives that are generated while you're handling frauds. We are giving the responses in less than 100 milliseconds of time. That is where you're basically preventing frauds. Not only monitoring, but preventing frauds as well. And we are a completely scalable solution considering we're working with PNBs and Canara Bank. We are working at a scalability of 10,000 transactions per second and combating all the frauds that they might be facing with a rich library of scenarios working across and monitoring as well as preventing. When I say preventing, we are declining the transactions on a real-time basis just to prevent fraud across the banking ecosystem. Now, the major issue that we have identified in the last few years is the mule accounts being there, like dormant accounts are there, and then we need to identify those mule accounts. How these dormant accounts are converted to mule accounts within a certain period of time, and there's a lot of revenue leakage that happens due to it, right? So that has become a very important factor for the banks to identify early and then also take an action on top of it. So what we have done is we have built a multifold solution on top of mules, wherein we have ML models plus scenarios wherein it can run in a hybrid mode, it can run in a batch mode, it can also detect mules on a real-time basis and help you save a lot of money with respect to converting one account to mule, or maybe layering a funds that is happening across multiple accounts or in dormant accounts that you might foresee. So that is where we are basically bringing your intelligence with respect to demographics, with respect to your transactional, as well as the behavioral intelligence which we are building in as part of the platform, right? Just to give a view of how we can help the cooperative banks, we've spoken about the solutioning and how we are, there in the market across India. What we have done is we have built a very right-sized solution for the cooperative banks, which primarily is going to work across the enterprise, across the different channels, and will help them identify the frauds that are happening. But what we also need to do is we need to maintain the regulatory compliances, right? So what we've done is we are working directly with the RBI, MHAs, as I mentioned, and we are bringing all the regulatory upgrades as part of the platform for the cooperative banks to be staying ahead with respect to the compliances, the functionalities required, as well as the technology framework that would be required for them. Now, while we are talking about the framework or the platform, it is very important that the platform is plug and play, right? That it can be easily integrated as part of your existing ecosystem, help you identify frauds, and also help you resolve them in the right amount of time as required. So that is where we say that the platform is plug and play. We are a right-sized platform or a right-sized company to help you facilitate the required set of solutions to manage the frauds. And we have the out-of-the-box AI, right? So as I mentioned, we have a base layer on EFRM, which is facilitated by ML and AI models. So that is where we have the out-of-the-box AI for you to take better decisions on the alerts that are generated and reduce the false positives, right? So that is what we have, and regulatory rapidness plus the ROIs. So whatever investments that you're making, we are basically saying that it will be returned in within 12 months, considering the revenue leakages that we will be preventing using the platform. And very important thing that we've observed for the cooperative banks is that while you're trying to prevent a particular transaction, you also want to communicate to the customers directly before any transaction has been stopped. So that is where we have added automated disposition of alerts by IVRS integrations, which can basically direct the transaction to the customer, and then you will get to know whether it's a genuine transaction or not. So that is what we have done as part of the platform, right? Now, what value it delivers to you is it will help you reduce your false positives. It will give you more fraud detection, prevention per se as part of the platform, and the turnaround time that you need to maintain with respect to the regulatory compliances will be taken care of. While you're also achieving your operational excellence considering the AI and ML models that we have built on top of our EFRM layer. Now, this is where we just want to leave at this point and say that whatever that you want to achieve with respect to, technology framework or the fraud and risk framework that you want to build as part of the platform, we are here. We can help you with that. We are available at booth number 29 for you to understand how the solutions primarily work. While we are delivering all of these solutions, we basically guarantee you that you're going to help the customers retain that trust that they have in you, because you're going to build that layer of fraud and risk against each of the accounts or the transactions that are happening across the banking ecosystem itself. Plus, you're going to achieve full compliance with respect to the audit that needs to be done with the different regulatory bodies like RBI, because they are mandating a lot of things that needs to be done as part of a bank, which can be easily achieved by the platform that we are bringing to you, right? And while we are talking about operations, we are also bringing the operational flexibility or enhancement as part of the platform, not just restricting to identifying frauds. Finally, just with respect to digital growth, the entire platform is not only available for you to identify frauds, but will also give you a completely workflow-driven approach, wherein from one stage to another, you can identify the investigations that are happening. You will have complete audit trails. Everything will be available for you to completely, go in detail with respect to whatever is happening as part of your bank internally. So all that is there as part of one common platform, which is your Clarify Enterprise Fraud Risk Management, wherein we are bringing all the regulatory compliances to you across the different other solutions also. So you can, if in case you want to, discuss more on that, we are available on booth number 29. We'll give you more understanding on the solutions and will help you, combat this fraud that you might be experiencing as of now. Thank you so much.